Okay, we're going to talk about tables, specifically table editing a table on your site. Right here I have a default table, and basically what we've set up in the back end is a way for you to use tables, and that's why we have a little bit different an editor than normally you would see in WordPress. It gives us the ability to work with tables, something that WordPress sites generally don't have. So first thing I want to point out is the table itself. Scroll down a little bit, we'll see it right here. It looks pretty generic on this end. But also in the code, if you need to make a new page and or a new table somewhere, the easiest way to get started without confusing the heck out of you is to find the HTML for it. And we'll see right here, it starts at table border. Copy this whole table and put it into your page and work from that. It's going to be easier than trying to start one from scratch. There's a few different things you need to understand. Okay, with that being said, I have a default table in here. It only has 2 columns and I think 5 rows. This last row should always be empty, and I'll show you why it should always be empty. That is this gray box right here. So unless you want text in there, leave it alone just for styling. Same with the top part. Time of the year. The top one is going to give it that little green color. Now, for this particular page, what to do about seasonal allergies, I'm looking at your documents, and you have 1, 2, 3 columns. So, 3 columns. How can we add a new column? Pretty simple. Just click somewhere in here, and then up here you're going to see how this activates now. It gives you a few different options. So what we want to do is add an additional column. So I come over to here, and I can see insert column after, insert column before. It doesn't really matter. I'll go ahead and do after. Now you'll see real quick a new one opened up. I'll just click on it, just do some gibberish text. Now I see I have 1, 2, 3. So what I can do now is type in the text that goes here. Or better yet, copy and paste, because I guess that would make more sense, right? Okay, let's go ahead and update this to make sure we're on the right path here. Refresh, and there we are. We have our 3 columns now. Now what we need to do is add some rows, and it looks like you have about, let me see, looks like about 30 rows, and that does not count this one nor this one. So what we want to do is fill in here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, we roughly need to add 26 more rows. So we do the same thing we did for the column. Let's come and click. Make sure you're not down here and clicking, because you're just going to basically recreate that gray bottom strip we don't want to add to the site. So actually I'm going to click in here, and just like we did for the other one, we want to insert row. Let's do insert row. Let's do before. And we need about 26 clicks here. So I think this should about do it. It looks about right. Let's update this. Let's see what we got going on in the front end here. Refresh. There we go. Really, really big table here. So then what we want to do is come back and just basically start filling in our sections. So let's see, we have sneezing. We have stinging nettle, not sure what that is, but whoops. Didn't do that one right now, did I? And let's see, antihistamine. Don't worry, I'm not going to sit here and do all these to make you watch. It's going to kind of do a few here. Let's do runny nose. About 6 down, I believe. Stinging nettle again. Antihistamine again. We can go ahead and do itchy and watery eyes. I think we're about 8 down. I believe here. I'm going to fill some of these in and leave you to come back and figure out how tables work. That way you know how these work and not having to come back later on and not be sure of it and have to update it. This way you're getting some user experience to see how this actually works. So if these are a row off, please excuse me. Let's update this. And there we are. So that's about it for tables. Pretty easy. A little bit manual, but it's a table, and just like working in a Word document and so forth, you got to follow certain criteria to take care of it. Hope that helps.